Hey guys, my name is Bree and I love superheroes. But first, let me ask you guys a question. Who is your favorite superhero ever? Okay, do you got it in your head yet? Great. Now I want you to think back on how that superhero became who they are. And honestly, it was probably a really unusual experience. But if you were to become a superhero, how would you choose to become that hero? Maybe you would decide to eat so many sour gummy worms that suddenly you became Worm Man, with the power of shooting sour venom out of your eyeballs. Okay, maybe not that. But the point is, every superhero has an origin story, which is just a fancy way of saying how they became the hero that they are. But as Christians, we are chosen heroes, which means we didn't choose ourselves, but God chooses us. And if we take a look in 1 Peter 2:9, it says, "But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light." That means God has chosen us to belong to him and to show others who he is. Now let's take a look back in the Hall of Faith and let's see if we can find a hero to help us understand this. Got it. Gideon. Now, let's go to the book of Judges, specifically chapters 6 through 8. And you can turn with me. All right? Are we there yet? You got it? Great. Now, Gideon was the unlikely hero who God chose to save all of Israel. And in Judges 6:15, it says, "Pardon me, my lord." Gideon replied, "But how can I save Israel? My clan is the weakest in Manasseh, and I am the least in my family." And so what makes Gideon the unlikely hero? Well, when Gideon was finding this out, he's probably like, "God, I think you got the wrong guy." See, Gideon, he felt too small, too weak. He didn't feel important enough. But God didn't care. See, God still chose to use Gideon. And through God's strength, Gideon was able to save all of Israel from the Midianites, bringing peace to the people for 40 years. And it was all because Gideon said yes to being used by God's strength and just said yes to the thing that God had in store for him. And Gideon wasn't the only one that was small that God chose to use. See, later on, there's a king named David who was the youngest and the smallest in his family, and God chose to use him too. You're never too small and you're never too young to be a hero of faith because God has chosen you. And being a chosen hero by God means he is the one who gives us power, who loves us, and who saves us. And all we need to do is have faith. In Jeremiah 1:5, it says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." That means God knew you before you were born, and he has a purpose for your life. Just like Gideon. See, if we look back at Gideon, we may think, really? That guy? He's so small. But God chose him to lead an entire army. Not because he just suddenly became bigger, but because God made him stronger. So let me ask you a question. What is it that God is asking you to do right now? Maybe it's inviting someone new to church or sitting with someone new at school. Maybe it's forgiving a friend or standing up for someone who feels left out. These may seem like small things, but when it comes to being a hero of faith, it starts by taking small steps of faith. And so when God is asking you to do something, remember this. You are never too young and you are never too small to be a hero of faith because God has chosen you. All right, guys, stand to your feet. Come on, get up, because now it's time for the big idea. In 3, 2, 1, here's to doers. Great job, guys. High fives all around. All right, I'm out and I'm gonna fly.